Yes, good day. It's Bill Jones with recapturefederalism.com. Coming to you again from Freedom's Nest, doing a podcast. I, William R. Jones, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, so help me God. You heard me before, I say it again. First took that oath in July of 1965 when I joined the United States Navy. The enemy of the United States was communism, as it is now. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. and, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to talk about, and it's the reason I'm doing a podcast. I think I'm going to have to start doing podcasts again. All this violations of the oaths by people, violation of free press, it's commie press, commie propaganda, agitation. And the title today is Washington Post, CNN, The Five Communist Overthrow of Government. That's correct. Yeah, you have people who are supposed to follow oaths. In the preamble of almost every state republic under the Federalist 51, and the federal government, Constitution, federal government, is supposed to ensure domestic tranquility. Well, you can't have domestic tranquility when you have communist chaos on a daily basis, and you got three or four today. But I'm going to read, talking about overthrow. But communism abolishes eternal truth. It abolishes all religion and all morality instead of constituting them on a new basis. It therefore acts in contradiction to all past historical experience. Yeah, page 26 of the Communist Manifesto. And from page 34 of the Communist Manifesto. Finally, they labor everywhere for the union and the agreement of democratic parties of all countries. The communists disdain to conceal their views and aims. They openly declare that their ends can be attained only by the forcible overthrow of all existing social conditions. Let the ruling classes tremble at the communistic revolution. The proletarians have nothing to lose but their change. They have a world to win. Working men of all countries unite. Page 34, Communist Manifesto. Yeah, we're gonna talk about communist chaos overthrowing. Well, first of all, they abolishes eternal truth. It abolishes all religion, all morality. And then they forcefully, it can only be attained by forcefully overthrowing all social conditions. That's governments, societies. Let the ruling classes tremble. They're terrorists. And you got the Washington Post, the CNN, and the Five. And it's broadcast media. Well, I should say cable. Still, supposedly free press. It's not free press. It's communist propaganda and agitation. It's right out of guidelines of the Communist Party in 1921. We got Washington Post. They retracted a cartoon. They did a cartoon of one of the presidential candidates on the Republican side, the conservative side. By the way, page 31, the Communist Manifesto. They equate conservatives with the bourgeoisie. That's, by the way, the ruling class in the United States. Well, ones who are supposed to be trembling. I've said in the past, I'll say it again, I don't tremble. Sailors don't tremble, Marines don't tremble, soldiers don't tremble, Air Forcemen don't tremble, Coast Guardsmen don't tremble, first responders, police, fire do not tremble. They're, you know why? They're trained not to tremble. And we're the dissidents, going back to insurrection since 1886 in Chicago, Haymarket Square, and a refurbishing of that, a revitalization of it in the 60s to the present. The overthrow of the government of the free people. Federalist Paper 51. When they retracted this cartoon, they had Mr. Cruz. He had did a commercial with the kids, a parody, reading his kids' Christmas books, political Christmas books. Now, you think the press would just let that go, but no, they don't do that. They don't let it go. They got him in a Christmas costume and the kids in Christmas costumes as monkeys. Yeah. Communist propaganda, criticism of conservatives, political supremacy, Democrats trying to do that. Yep, that's what they do. CNN, Don Lemon, he shut down a man speaking because he was bringing up something about President Clinton in the past. Well, what's wrong with that? No, it's communist propaganda and censorship. CNN, Communist News Network, is what it's been called since beginnings back in the 80s. Yeah, Communist Press, Washington Post, CNN, and the Five, the Fox too. Yeah, they fair and balanced between commie heavy and commie light. They got commie heavy over there on the whole station, but talking about the Five, I heard Geraldo, not Geraldo Rivera, because I could. He's probably saying the same thing. But Juan Williams was on there, and this is the 23rd of December, so it was yesterday, 22nd of December. He was on there on the Five, and they're talking about oaths, and he talking loyalty oaths is a fascist, fascist, fascist parties, fascist. Are you kidding me, Juan? Now Juan's black, and I tell you, black is a communist. 1965, communists created blacks as a separate race from Homo sapiens. There's only one race. There's different categories of the race. And that's what I learned in 1962 in school, sociology class. But no, the Five, they got it. And this is what they don't do. None of them don't do it. They don't ever talk about treason. They don't ever talk about treason. They don't talk about Article 6 of the Constitution. That's where they have oaths. They're not loyalty oaths, they're oaths. They're violating the oaths. All the branches of government, all the states. That's treason. That's treason. You got with the candidates and the Democratic Party, you got a socialist there. National Socialist Party. Nazis. Yeah. Right out in the open. Read this before out here, so I won't read it again, but first paragraph, they talk about the first stage of communism and socialism in the guidelines of the Communist Party, 1921. Yep. Then they have, and I want to talk about how they're violating the law. And you have these people, communists, totalists, proletarians, and this is how they're violating the law. They're violating the 1909 law, based, it's a codification of Article 3, Section 3 of the Constitution, which is treason. It's still in my Constitution. Of course, a lot of things in my Constitution, and they're not following it, they're not obeying it, they're violating their oaths in Article 6, and all sorts of things. States' rights, states' sovereignty. We'll get into that another time. But we're talking about it today. CNN, Washington Post, The Five, Fox. How they're violating the law. They're committing treason. And whoever owing allegiance to the United States levies war against them or adheres to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort within the United States or elsewhere, is guilty of treason and shall suffer death, or shall be imprisoned not less than 5 years and fined under the title blah blah blah. 18 U.S.C. Chapter 115, Treason, Sedition, and Subversive Activities. That's 2381, treason. 2382, misprision of treason. Yeah, misprision of treason. You got them lawyers. You got lawyers at all these corporations. Legal profession doesn't talk, and I don't even think they teach treason anymore. They're all on the commie side. You got these lawyers, on-air lawyers, the Five, Kelly Files. You got Bill O'Reilly, public administration. I went back to school. I got a bachelor's, majored in public administration. You got a master's from Harvard. I've talked about Harvard before. Yeah, 1966, they demonstrated against me. Boston. We pulled back into harbor, Boston Harbor. A ship. After coming back from looking for Soviet communist submarines. And they're pro-communist. And so that's where Mr. O'Reilly got his master's degree, public administration. But you have, I know, public administration, you have constitution law classes. They cover treason in there. Cover it all. Article 6. Those. They're not just loyalty oaths. That's the loaded language. Liston's loaded language of thought reform and the psychology of totalism. Loaded language. They add it's a loyalty oath. No, it's not a loyalty. It's just an oath. Oath of office. Under God. Yeah, well, that's separation church and state. That's 1848 communist demand of Germany. You know why, don't you? Bear false witness and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, what did I say? What did I say? Yeah, but communism abolishes eternal truth. It abolishes all religion, all morality. So that's what they do. Supreme Court does that. And they're trying to convince you through the press that what they're doing is legitimate. And what they're doing is they're enslaving the American people. Misprision of treason. Whoever owing allegiance to the United States and having knowledge and commission of any treason against them conceals or does not as soon as may be disclose and make known the same, the President, Judge of the United States, the Governor, Judge of the states, particular states. I don't hear anybody in the press talking about it. Because we get into 2383, the next section, rebellion and insurrection. Insurrection, as I say, has been going on. 1965, they redid the violence Part of it. Watch riots. That's insurrection, rebellion. Whoever incites, sets on foot, assists, or engages in a rebellion or an insurrection against the authority of the United States or any laws thereof. Have been insurrection since 1886. Haymarket Square, Chicago. Seditious conspiracy, 2384. And there's one section in there, or by force prevent, hinder, or delay the execution of any law of the United States. Well, they're all getting together and they're not doing any misprision of treason, not telling people about a rebellion or insurrection. All seditious conspiracy. Then 2385. Here's what what they're doing: advocating the overthrow of government. Whoever knowingly and willfully advocates, abets, advises, teaches the duty and necessity and desirability, propriety of overthrowing or destroying the government of the United States or any state, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So there's what you have, and what we need to do. Back in the 60s, all the veterans we started, they continue now discriminating against veterans. Yeah, we ought to just all go to the police, sheriff's police, your sheriff, and you file complaints. File complaints. Petition your government. Could sue them. Sue the Democratic Party. Sue the newspapers. Sue them all. That'd be a civil complaint. The criminal complaint. Go to FBI for this federal stuff, and then the state treason. They're violating the sovereignty of the individual 50 states republic. It's a compound republic. And with that, I know I did enough. My voice is kind of rough. It's got a little cold, so I'm gonna say adios. If you're hearing this anywhere different than my site, you can go to my site, subscribe to it, so you give you updates. I got 120 videos on there on YouTube. This will be adding this on as podcast too. Good day. Till next time.